Alright guys, so it's towards the end of January and the snowstorm hit, and this video is going to be uploaded in February. Remember last year I had to change the spark plug in. That seemed to fix the problem at that time. Since then it's gotten worse. It's surging when it idles, and when you put it on the non-eco mode where it revs up full throttle, you got to pull the choke out about a third to halfway to get it to smooth out. Then you don't have no power out of it. Like it won't take the full 2,000 watt load, and it kept stalling out and kicking the breaker on it when the refrigerator kicked on. So I ended up having to run the big generator. So today we're going to pull the carburetor off of it and clean it out, and I think it's probably the idle side that the carburetor is clogged up. This is a model 56203i. Should be very similar on any of them like this, but the actual carburetor itself may be a little bit different, or a different number for it. So if you need to replace the carburetor, make sure you get one for your model, and don't get one just for what you see in the video. I'm not sure if I got to take this side off or the other side. I never had the carburetor off on one of these like this, so we'll kind of have to play it by ear and see what we got to do. So let's start taking stuff apart. Alright, so I removed the two covers, the spark plug cover and the access to the dipstick. I'm also going to change oil in it too while we're working on it. Take these 4 screws out, this panel comes off. The carburetor's right there. So it's not extremely hard to get to, it's just, you know, it could be better, but we'll see what I got to do to take this stuff loose, and we'll focus more on the actual carburetor itself on the video. So I ran it dry with the fuel off, so there should be a minimal amount of fuel in the bowl of the carburetor. So let me start taking stuff apart off camera. We'll see how far we got to go on it. So I'm not going to go step by step on taking this apart, because I'm not 100% sure what I got to take apart to get it off. I don't want to make an incomplete video. So it does appear you got to take this vent cover off, this vent hose off. It goes to the valve cover. It'd probably be easier to take it off here. That appears to be a solid tube, so I'm sure this whole thing comes out where the air filter is. Also note it has a electronically controlled throttle on it that hooks to it, so it either has to be unplugged right there with that blue connector, or you can just take the bolts out of it while you're taking it off. The choke, this is the choke right here. It is adjustable. You take the choke loose right there. So yeah, let's see what we got to do. I'm hoping I don't have to take the rest of this orange part off to get to it, but we'll see. It looks kind of complicated the way it's set up. I'll try to show a little bit in between. This is one of the reasons I never wanted one of these, but I like the portability of it, so it makes up for it for that. It's just hard to work on. So you got 2 nuts here, hold this flange on where the air filter tube comes in. I took this bolt out here. It goes all the way up in this hole down here, but there's another one that's hidden all the way back there. And I was trying to take the front loose, but you got to take everything apart to get access through this side. So I notice this is loose now, so I'm hoping I can pull this out and pop this loose from this air box. Alright, with a little bit of help with the screwdriver prying up on it, that pops out. It'll just pop right back in there. Now we can get full access to the carburetor. Let's see what we got to do to unhook everything here. You got to take that screw out there. I have to get to it from the top somehow. I know this is kind of hard to see, but this bolt up here is what appears to hold the clamp on for the cable. I can't even get to it the way I was thinking about doing it. Also note, it's probably going to be easier to take the fuel line loose right here on the fuel valve than trying to access it from the back. Alright, so I put the 2 nuts back on one stud. I'm backing the whole stud out. I'm going to do both of them like that. There's just not enough play to get anything apart without taking everything apart, and I don't have time to do that. I mean, I will if I have to, but I think this will be easier in the long run. You just have to be careful putting that back gasket on when you put it back together. Alright, that worked. So just remember the long end is on the carburetor end, the short end's on the manifold end. The gasket stayed in place, so that's going to make things way easier to put it back together, and the gasket's in good shape. How well you can see it. So I went and took the 2 screws out of this actuator. Hopefully I don't regret doing that. Now I'm going to disconnect the choke, take that bracket loose there, and the cable here. Then we should be able to have the carburetor in hand. Carburetor's off. That bracket just pops into there. There's the screw comes off it. I'm sorry I'm not showing every little step, but I'm kind of lost on this one myself. I'm just trying to figure it out as I go, so I hope everybody understands that. This is the actuator motor. It's probably got some type of name, like a servo or something. You just have to make sure you line it back up into that. That's what controls the throttle. It's all electronic. It's possible that this is the problem. I got my doubts, because as soon as you give it a choke, it will be fine. So that's that. Now I'm going to take this apart. And hopefully it's made more like a standard carburetor, nothing too awful crazy. There appears to be access to a jet right there. So I might take this top plate off, which shouldn't be too hard to put back together. Alright, got you guys back on the tripod. Hopefully the rest of the video is a little bit smoother. Also note which side this is on. It's where the other vent line is. Can't tell if that's dirt on the end of that or it's just the way it's made. Figure it out. If you spray carburetor cleaner, try to keep it away from any of them seals as much as possible. I'm smelling old gas for some reason. I'm trying to get this seal off. Luckily it stayed intact. Keep this away from the carburetor cleaner when you go to spraying it. This is actually very clean. I was expecting a little bit of dirt in there. There's a couple pieces, nothing crazy. So I expect, I don't know, something just fell off. So I'm expecting to have to clean this little jet out right here. Maybe open it up just a tiny bit. And see if we can clean out any other passages. Decided to fall off. I don't know if it was just sitting on there like that or what, but it fell. I have to go back and replay my own video to figure out where that went. Alright, I'm going to clean this off camera. You want to remove this brass jet. Spray it out. I'm going to take this apart here and we'll look at it here in just a second. Let's go ahead and get that. We'll just go ahead and do it on camera. I feel like I skipped enough steps to try to make it up to you guys with a little bit more detail on something else. There we go. If this is clogged completely, it won't run at all. So I don't think that's quite the issue. Yeah, you can see all the way through it. There. I'll make sure that's clean. I'm going to take a MIG welder tip and open it up just the tiniest bit. Anyway, take the float off just so it's out of the way. The needle valve fell out. Pretty standard type. And we'll take this piece off over here. Hopefully that'll gain us access to the idle jet or idle passage. That's probably what's gummed up. Very common on this type of carburetor. This is similar to the carburetor on like a Predator 212. Just gotta try to get this piece out. Alright, so I just took the pick and pulled up and got up underneath it. That should come out like that. And you got O-rings you got to keep away from carburetor cleaner. And just opens up more passages. So we're going to spray carburetor cleaner off camera through all the passages. See, I'm getting, that smells like old gas right there. So that tells me the fuel is not flowing through this. And right here's probably the problem right here in this little passageway right here. Just try to watch these O-rings. They may or may not swell with carburetor cleaner applied to it. That's probably definitely the problem. As soon as I popped that out, it was full of old gas there. So right here's the problem. This whole passage was clogged up. See that wire sticking all the way through that jet right there? That's the main problem. Now it goes right into it. I'm going to blast it out a few more times with carburetor cleaner and compressed air, and do this a couple more times, and try to get the MIG welder tip tool in it. Just open it up just a teeniest tiny bit. I already cleaned the passages out in the carburetor. I think this was probably the problem. Alright, I found this little spring. That's where it goes on there. As far as I can tell, this is how it goes. That little lip hangs over like that. Just like that. So then the motor shaft goes into that. That's what actuates the throttle. Get that piece put back in, the clamp put on it. We're just putting it back together. I'm going to skip some steps. We'll look at it once it's back together. Just kind of pay attention to what you're doing and refer to this video for little pieces like that. Alright, got it all back together. I'm sorry I skipped steps on it. It's very hard to show everything the way this thing is made. I hope I was able to actually help you with the problem. Now it's running good, so let's get it started again. We'll put a 1500 watt heater on it. And yes, I'm running it inside with the vent fans on. And just going to be for a few minutes, but do not run equipment inside. This is just for a very quick test. Let me get you on the tripod. I may not have to choke it since it's still warm and running. We'll see. I have to choke it. You know how things are nowadays. So that's in the eco mode where it idles real low. Before it was surging. This is a 1500 watt space heater. Alright, we're going to call it fixed. That's the smoothest it's ran since it was new. It's a bad thing about generators and even like tillers, it's not used all the time. Always gas going to be left in it, just something that happens. But always try to run that carburetor dry. This has a setting right here before off. It shuts the fuel off but keeps the engine running. So you can, once it stalls out, choke it again and keep pulling it and run it until it don't start anymore and get all that gas out of the carburetor. It'll really help it. Keep fresh gas in as much as possible. Fuel stabilizer, not a bad idea either. Even a little bit of like carburetor cleaner mixed in with it. But yeah, I think it's going to run good now. I'm happy with the fix. It wasn't too bad to actually fix it, just hard to get to it. So hopefully this was able to help you fix yours. I'm not going to change the oil. I said I was going to, but I was thinking of the other generator. This one's not as bad, so I'm just going to let it go for right now until the next time it's used for a power outage and change it after that. It still don't look too awful bad, so it'll be alright for a little bit. But yeah, so appreciate everybody for watching. Hopefully this helps you. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you on the next one.